Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, it's good, y'all. What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the weekend banger. It's time for the weekend banger, y'all. That's a lock. It's time for the weekend banger, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out here working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out here with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I'll make sure y'all got something to watch in the mornings, man. I promise y'all there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, though, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. Like, you know, I've been screaming staying out the way in every story I do, man. I give y'all examples why you should stay out the way, man. I'm telling y'all, man, like it's nothing coming out of you doing crime no more, man, like that. Don't get me wrong. Like, crime is going to be around for forever. Like, you're never going to get rid of people doing crime. But at the end of the day, those people that are doing crime, man, like, they got to start thinking that they're kind of slow when they know their reality is going to be going to jail at the long run. You're going to get some money in the beginning. You're going to feel like you won when you broke the law a few times. Then you're going to go to jail, man. Everybody goes to jail, even in the movies, man. So you're not going to get away with this, man. So I encourage everybody, man, if you out here breaking the law, and I know people are, and that's your life if you want to, man. But I'm just telling you to kind of just think about everything you're doing, man. Try to invest in something else, man. A lot of y'all be smart enough to do y'all own business. Y'all just rather take the easy route and just keep selling the fiends. You gotta cut that out, man. It's a wrap for that, man. It's about to be extinct, man. If you're not into the cannabis business, man, then you in the way, man. That's the only way you're gonna be able to make money off stuff that's drugs. At the end of the day, change your life around. Just stay out of the way. That's all I'm trying to tell you to do. Do something better. You know you can do something better, man. You just out here being a lunatic for no reason. Just change your life around and be wildin', man. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the weekend banger. So what y'all do this one? Like, subscribe to me, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But it's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called We Saw Him. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We in penitentiary, man, where crazy things happen all the time. I'm telling y'all, man, you have so many people in there that do things inside of prison on the low, and they don't think it's never going to come out. They don't think their secret is never going to come out, man. Regardless of who you try to bribe, regardless of who you tell, promise not to say anything, or hope somebody go to the grave with it, man. It's not going to work, man. Somebody's always going to leak the information. That's just how it go, man. Now, usually stuff like that happens as violence, whether it's from the person that felt like you put his business out there, or it's from the people that feel like you disrespected them, man. However it comes, your secret is not going to be safe. With that being said, though, y'all, we on Susses 2 for this, y'all. We on Susses 2. And I can remember being in 4 building for this one, man. I'm in 4C, man. I'm in 4C. Y'all already know, man. Like, it's a good part. I've been in 4 building already because I was next door in 4D, man. So I'm just living. That's all I'm in there doing, y'all. Like, I'm, you know, if a situation fall my way, then I'm gonna be right there ready to get it, man. Like, but at the moment right now, I'm just chilling, buying the la, relaxing, kicking it, man. You know what I mean? I'm out the whole probably like 4 or 5 months around this time, man. So it's like, I want to say it was like summertime or something like that. I think it was a little warm outside, but for the most part, the part is a cool part. You got dudes in there, that's the red team. You got the Richmond dudes in there. Yeah, a lot of dudes in there. Y'all already know how it go. But had people in there that weren't part of the red team or Richmond or stuff like that, and they still had their little group of people. Everybody had their own little groups. That's just how prison is, man. So that's how 4C was. So 4C had this one dude, man. We're gonna call him Lucas, man. Now the dude Lucas, he was kind of like he was a little slightly older than us, and he was already down longer than us, man. Like, he was one of those dudes that you could tell that was down forever. Like, you know what I mean? He had a little time, a little ahead of us. You know, we just coming in the system slightly, like 3, 4, 5 years in. They probably double digits in already. But the dude Lucas, man, he was one of those guys that came to the compound later on after Sussex 2 had like opened up to Virginia inmates, and he was one of the guys that came with the busload of people that was coming from Augusta. Now Augusta is that camp that I was telling y'all that was in the mountains that, you know, like it was a good level 4 because they had free weights and you get wrecked and the food was probably better. But you was just ducked off in the mountains with all those shake, rattle, and rollers. And that's what was up there, you know what I mean? So like, you know, Lucas fell under that bracket, you know what I mean? Like for real, when I first came to the pod, I didn't scan him because I never really talked to him like that. I never really dealt with him like that. So it wasn't like I had to scan him because there was no business being done with him whatsoever. But he was the type of dude, man, he just always kind of like, you know, he liked to be working for the administration, like, if you know what I mean. Like, he was one of those type of dudes. Like, of course, he was a regular dude. He wasn't no snitching, nothing like that. He was just somebody that knew how to beat the system. And he'll know how to get in with certain officers or certain sergeants and stuff like that. And he'll be able to get a job, different little jobs and stuff like that. So he used to have a job where he would leave sometime and go work like in the support building. Now in the support building, like, you know what I mean? Like the support building is basically like the whole building that's like in front of our buildings. And it's the gym. It starts from the left from the gym. It goes all the way down there to it goes all the way down the whole sidewalk, all the way up to facing one building almost. But it starts from the gym and then it goes to medical and then it's freaking the visiting room. And then it's like, it's the gym, visiting room, then medical. And then it's like a bunch of other offices and a lot of stuff that they use, the way they come in, basically. That's what that support building is. So if you had a job working in there, you was somebody that the administration kind of trusts. But like, it was just crazy in there though, because like, you would never know who was working sometimes. Like, I remember when like they got it together later on. Like by the time I had got the 2 building, when I went back to 2 building, I see that they kind of tightened up over there in the support building. But at first, the support building was loose and it was out of control. Y'all, like, you would see dudes that's just locked in with a certain CO, and then certain CO will request for those people to come over there and help do stuff and work. So you would see a different sets of dudes from every building that was going to the support building. But people would still go to the support building, man. Like, you would go pick up the chemicals from the support building somewhere over there. I forgot where it was at. Sometimes you would go over there by laundry and pick up the chemicals, but you would have to be in the support building. So the dude Lucas used to work in the support building, man. Like that, he ended up getting like a permanent job over there. You know what I mean? So like that's what he used to do every day. Now, me at the time, I had to wait the 3 months before I was able to qualify to get a job in the pod. Now, once my 3 months was up and I was able to get a job in the pod, I signed up. Now, the person that was telling me to sign up for the job was somebody else that was a little bit older than me, but he wasn't that much older than me. I give him like 30, 31 or something like that. But we're going to call him Pete, man. But Pete was already bald-headed, you know what I mean? Pete was already bald-headed, clean-shaved dude, you know what I mean? He used to keep himself together. Pete was cool. Everybody in the block used to rock with Pete. I ain't gonna say where Pete was from, or I ain't gonna say where Lucas from, man, but they both from Tidewater. They both from Tidewater, but look, this is my word. Pete was a funny dude, though, because Pete was the one of the dudes that be down on the women, you know what I mean? So, like, that was his thing. Like, I never seen him bag, and I never heard about him getting a pack or nothing like that, but Pete used to be down. Pete used to be down on those ladies, y'all. I promise y'all, man, he used to be down on their top 24/7. So like, you know, with him having a job in the pod, he was able to move around, do what he wants. So that's how he'll be able to be down on the women. So I remember him telling me, like, bro, when your 90 days up, sign up for a job. I'm gonna get you a job. So he was like, I'm gonna have you working with me. So I'm like, what we gonna be doing? He was like, bro, we're gonna be doing like special assignment stuff, like whatever they need us for, you know what I mean? He said sometimes they might call us to the support building to help out with a few things. He was like, you never know. He was like, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I just want somebody cool, bro, that I rock with. Now, me and the dude Pete had got cool from 2 building, you know what I mean? Like, he came to 2C for a little bit. We was already in 2C when he got there, you know what I mean? But he came over there and he left immediately and went to 1 building and started working in the kitchen. I didn't see him no more for a while. Then I bumped into him again in 4 building. I saw he was staying out the way, still keep a job. He was chilling. So like he knew me already from 2 buildings, so he already knew I wasn't no in the way young boy. You know what I mean? He knew I was a cool dude, and like the new person of me and the new mature self of me, I'm getting to that money. I'm trying to get to the money. You know what I mean? So he knew all of that. So that's why he was trying to get me to work with him. He can have somebody that can hold him down and he know he can trust. That's not going to mess up his situation, because at the end of the day, he know the only thing I'm gonna want to know is, man, look, can I get in the car? That's the only thing I'm gonna want to know, y'all. So boom. So he knew that. So I went on and followed the instructions and I filled out the application to get a job. Now he told me to put special assignment on the joint for my job description. But it took about a week, and the unit manager finally called me downstairs to their office, and I had the little interview joint. He gave me the job basically. So when I had came back, I had told Pete, I was like, yo, I got the job. He was like, for real? He was like, yeah, see, you gonna be with me, Weezy? Yeah, you gonna be with me? I was like, man, I'm just trying to get out the building. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I'm just trying to get out the building, move around. So he was like, yeah, look. He was like, look, bro. He was like, look, every Monday and every Friday we go to support building. You know, support building suite. You know what I mean? He was like, that's where the women be at. Nah, nah, nah. You gonna see all the CO ladies when they go on break. You gonna see all of that. You know what I mean? So he was like, look, just roll with me. You gonna be straight. So I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? So the whole time, the dude Lucas, I used to hear him telling dudes the same thing about how the support building was. You know what I mean? Now Lucas was one of those dudes from his city that kind of like everybody, you know, even though he was somebody that was working the support building, he was more like a big OG to a lot of the old young boys from his city. You know what I mean? Now, just off of him being down for a while, you know what I mean? He wasn't a pushover. He definitely gonna fight. And like, you know, like I guess this dudes look at people from wherever they from, that if you've been down a long time and you're not a shake, rattle, and roller or somebody that's lame, they gonna kind of like, you know what I mean, follow your lead. Now, he wasn't no leader to these dudes, but if a situation breaks out, they would definitely go get Lucas. Lucas had his weight up, you know what I mean? Lucas ain't look like no lame. Lucas just to work out and everything. So like, they would definitely go get Lucas. And Lucas, I never seen him fight. I heard about him fighting at Augusta, and they say he put that work in, you know what I mean? So like, I didn't know what was going on, but I didn't really care about none of that because I already knew I never was gonna get into it with him, man. So like, the whole time Lucas was working over there, like I say, I used to hear him talk about how the support building used to be. And he used to be like this and that, this lady over there, and he used to be talking good about it. So I done heard it just off ear hustling a little bit, how he was talking about how the support building was. So now that I got the job with Pete, I'm feeling a little good now, y'all, because I'm like, man, I can't wait to Monday to see what all the fuss is about. Like, you know what I mean? Now I get to really experience like what it's going to be like going to the support building, because the only time I used to go to support building is when I used to get a visit, y'all. So boom. Or maybe go to medical. And I never really went to medical like that either. I was one of those people that never took pills, medicine. Like, I just made it through my bed, just thank God. Like, God just blessed me to be healthy and make it through that nightmare, you know what I mean? So I never really went to medical unless I just had to get my beard profile checked. That's the only time. And they would come out of medical and meet us at their door right there before you go into medical. And all of us would be lined up right there. And the doctor would come out and do all our jumps right there. So I never really went in the building to do that. But I used to see how clean it used to be when I would go to my visit, because you got to go in there to go to visit. So, like, it was my time finally, man. So before we went over there, this was on a Thursday night. Pete was telling me, Pete was like, man, look, it's sweet over there, bro. He was like, man, I'm telling you, they don't say nothing else, because he was like, once they know you're supposed to be over here, they don't say nothing. I said, so what are we going to be doing over there? He was like, for real, we're going to get the chemicals. We're going to take the chemicals back. And he was like, the sergeant that's going to be working over there, he just going to let us come back. But he was like, man, for real, the jump sweet, though. You know what I mean? He was like, the jump sweet, though, man. He was like, there's going to be other dudes over there, too, that be cleaning up, you know what I mean, doing stuff and all that. So I'm like, all right, so we go over there. So we go over that jump, man. This was Friday now, so we go over the jump. So I get inside the building, man. Like, it was just so clean. But I always seen how it was when I used to go to my VI, you know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I'm in the jump now. So the lady stopped us. What y'all doing here? We was like, look. Pete was like, nah, look, we here to get the chemicals, and then we coming back. The sergeant said he got some work for us to do. So she was like, all right. So she just left us alone and kept walking. As we turned left a little bit to go this way towards where the visiting room is at, I look, it's two COs coming down the hallway. And I'm looking like, man, like these COs I never saw before. These are the people that be working in booths in the VI. These are the people that work like behind the desk. You know what I mean? But they still have officer uniforms on. But I'm just looking like, man, so he's like, I told you, people, like I told you. The ladies walk by. He was like, how you doing, ladies? How y'all day going by? Everything going lit good with you? Y'all need anything? Y'all want me to get you anything? You sure you good? The lady was like, oh, no, we good, Pete. She called him by his nickname and everything. She was like, no, we good, Pete. He was like, yeah, man, go ahead, though. Just let me know if you need me. So they walked by. So when they walked by, he was like, see what I'm talking about? He was like, I'm locked in, nephew. So boom. He was locked in, man. Like, he was, like, to see the type of rapport he had with those ladies, like, they knew who he was. You know what I mean? They knew who he was. So the whole time we was in there, everything was straight after we took the chemicals back. So everything was straight. We had went and got the chemicals. We took the chemicals back to the pod. We came back there. So they told us we could stay over there and finish working until count time. So when we get over there, that's when I started seeing other dudes in the joint. You know what I mean? Started seeing other dudes in the joint. I had a look, and I had seen Lucas. Lucas be like kind of like on the other side of the joint, but you know he stick out. He got the bald head, he light skin, got the gold little beard, the little light beard joint. Like he stick out. I seen him. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, there go Lucas right there. Like his job was sweet. All he used to do is walk around with the little broom, the dust broom joint. He got the little towel in his back pocket. He was on real old head time, but like he was locked in over there too. I started seeing it. You know what I mean? So as we start moving around some more and start working, I looked up again and I saw a couple of boys over there. So I'm like, I looked, because I thought I was seeing stuff. They was like kind of down the hall a little bit. So I'm like, and I just see them like it's one little short one and one kind of tall one. Like, but they both were road. They both were boys though. So I'm looking, I'm like, I ain't paying no mind. So I was like, where Pete go? I look, Pete way over there talking to the lady. I'm like, wait, Pete. So I'm just standing by the jump with the broom, just looking crazy. I'm just standing right there on the wall, not trying to look down there where the boys are at. Then I look, I'm Pete down here spitting. So I'm just standing like this. I'm just standing like this. So I'm just standing like this with the broom. I'm like, you know what I mean? Not trying to pay that side no attention. So I'm like, so Pete finished trying to talk and he walked up. He was like, what's up, you good? I was like, bro, look, they got boys on here too. He was like, oh yeah. We gonna call him Michelle. He was like, yeah, that's Michelle. Michelle be working over here too sometime. Yeah. They let him come over here. You know, he work laundry sometime too. I was like, no, yeah, that's why I be seeing him at. He was like, but they let him come over here and work sometime too. You know what I mean? I'm like, crazy, man. You know what I mean? So that kind of spoiled a lot. You know what I mean? Even though they was in their own little world, but like, I just be like, they always be trying to be a part of they always be trying to be a part of situations they were supposed to be a part of, man. Like, just get out the way. We dudes trying to get at the ladies in this joint. This is what dudes are trying to do, man. Like, that's at least that's what I thought dudes were trying to do, y'all. So boom. So after me and bro had that conversation, that's when I spotted Lucas again. Lucas pulled up. What y'all doing over here? I was like, man, I'm with bro. He was like, you know that Pete. He said, oh, you with Pete. I'm like, yeah, I'm with Pete, bro. You know what I mean? So he was like, all right. So he disappeared. He dipped. So I ain't never walked down this part to the left side of the hallway. So I went and walked down the left side of the hallway. And I looked and I seen it was a bathroom for the inmates. Then it was the regular bathrooms. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I gotta use the bathroom. So I went in there and peed real quick. Pause. You know what I mean? So I went in there and used the bathroom real quick. Use the bathroom. I come back out. When I come back out, Pete was like, yeah, I was just about to go. When I came back out, I looked. Lucas was like, yeah, I was just about to come clean the junk. You know what I mean? I'm about to come clean the junk. So he go in the junk, start cleaning the junk. So the lady was like, y'all finished? Y'all can go back. Y'all finished. She was like, look, but if I need y'all Friday, y'all can come back Friday. I was like, all right, bet. So we left. So like my first experience over there was smooth. You know what I mean? Like the thing that kind of brought the morale down a little bit was seeing the two shake, rattle, and rollers. You know what I mean? But the thing that brought the morale down a little bit was seeing the dude that name was Michelle. That wasn't his name, but he had a name. He had a name like that. I probably. But that kind of like, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy right there. What are they doing over here? You know what I mean? So like, bro was like, man, look, don't pay that no mind. We gonna keep doing this, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's a bet. So we go back to the pod. I was feeling good that, you know, I'm somebody that finally got into the support building. They let my maniac ass in the support building, y'all. I couldn't believe it. So I definitely won't try to mess that up. I won't try to mess that up for nobody, man. So I continue to do right, because if you catch a charge, or if you go to the hole, if you do anything stupid, they're gonna take your job from you. So like, that's not what I was trying to do. So Pete was just like, yo, look, bro, just chill, man. Like, if ain't nobody bringing no drama, then we ain't got no drama. Like, it ain't like that, you know what I mean? He was like, the dudes from my city, like, you know, like, yeah, they get into something, man. They gotta be something worth for me to get into it. Like, they get into some old young boy stuff that I ain't got time for that Weezy, man. I'm like, I feel you, bro. You got the sweet gig. You know what I mean? I was like, you ain't locked in like Lucas, though. He was like, oh, nah, he locked in. He was like, he locked in. Nah, he really locked in. You know what I mean? He was like, he locked in for real. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that junk crazy, man. I was like, the people really know him all over the junk. I was like, they know him kind of like they know you. He was like, nah, they know him more. You know what I mean? He was like, nah, they know him more because he been over that junk more. You know what I mean? So I'm like, bro, like, at the end of the day, though, bro, both of y'all got juice. Both of y'all got the juice, man. So like, I'm just happy that I'm on your squad, bro. If I can shoot over there and just get out the building. He was like, for real, right? Tired of looking at these same dudes and same CEO ladies and all that. He was like, I told you it's the action over there. I was like, bro, it's definitely the action over there, man. So he was like, man, we just gotta wait to see if they're gonna let us come back. So when I had got up the next day, this was the next day, I got up and I was just moving around and I looked and I seen by the slide, I seen Pete look like he was about to dip out, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I had just got up, I was like, yo, Pete. Hey, yo, Pete. He turned around, I was like, where you going? He was like, oh yeah, hey, look, White gotta come with me too. He told the lady in the booth, he's like, yeah, White gotta come with me too. Yeah, White gotta come with me too. She was like, all right, White, we get your ID. She opened my door back up, I dip back upstairs, grab my ID. You know what I mean? I come back downstairs. I was like, what's up? He was like, nah, lady called us back. She said we can come back and work. I was like, what you think we gonna do? She's like, man, she probably just let us mop that long hallway and all that, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, that's a bet. So me and him dip out the building. So as we walking up the boulevard, you know what I mean? We just talking. He like, man, for real. He was like, man, I'm trying to get at this lady, man. He was like, it's this lady, old hair lady, man. He was like, man, I'm trying to hit her in the bathroom. You know what I mean? I was like, you gonna hit her in the bathroom? How you gonna do that? He was like, you gonna hold me down. What you mean? That's how I'm gonna do it. I was like, oh, she already locked in. Like, she already knows. He was like, I mean, she don't know, but he was like, man, like, she be flirting with me, so I'm about to just try my hand. Like, man, you was talking like you was already locked there, like you had to let it. He was like, nah, I ain't got it yet, bro. But I ain't got it yet, bro. But like, still though, you gonna hold me down? I was like, yeah, I'll hold you down. So we get back to the jump, you know what I mean? So we get to the support building. We go back in the support building. As soon as we go to the support building, I spot the boy. I'm like, dude named Michelle. I spot him. He right there. Got a short dude. A freaking jelly bean face looking eyes, man. Like somebody drew his face on a jelly bean. That's what the hell he looked like. Goddamn, man. I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh, go this way. Goddamn, I see goddamn Pete. Pete goddamn go that way. He was like, hey, look, bro, you go ahead and get the jump right. Let's go ahead and dust him out the hallway. I'm gonna come back. You know what I mean? I seen the boy. They had the boy like he was cleaning the walls. I'm like, what the hell is he doing cleaning the walls? But that's what he was doing. I looked down this side of the hallway. I spotted the dude, Lucas. He way down there cleaning up. So I'm like, man. But he closer to that where the bathroom is at, slightly, like over there. You know what I mean? Like over that jump. So I'm like, this jump crazy, man. So I just started dust mopping the jump. You know what I mean? So I started all the way from the beginning of that hallway. Like, so I was way down. I just made my way up. Just made my way up the jump. You know what I mean? Made my way up the jump. Start dust mopping the jump. So as I get a little to the middle, I went on and just kind of merged over all the way down to where Lucas was at, basically. But when I got a little closer, I didn't see Lucas no more. You know what I mean? I didn't see Lucas no more. But when I got to the end of the hall, I had looked and I seen it was a wet floor sign. You know what I mean? Like right by the bathrooms. You know what I mean? It said wet floor, and it was like, I don't know. It just had looked crazy. I don't know what it was like. Why? I don't know why I was there. I don't know. It just had looked crazy. And the main thing that looked crazy about it because the floor wasn't really wet. And it was getting in my way because I couldn't dust mop no more. So I'm like, man, it's crazy. So as I say that, I look back, see Pete. Pete was like, what's up? What's going on? I was like, man, I don't know. Somebody got a wet floor sign right there. He was like, man, Lucas might have put that right there. He was like, man, look, I'm about to go see the bathroom straight. He was like, shorty girl about to go on break. I said, she gonna rock and roll? He was like, I don't know, but man, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. I'm like, man, the bathroom should be straight. He was like, look, those are the police bathrooms right there. He said, ain't no 2 bathrooms for us. He said, this is a closet. See, I thought the other one was, it was 3 doors. He was like, one of them was a closet. You know what I mean? He was like, that one is the police bathroom. He was like, this is our bathroom. So like the wet floor sign was kind of like right there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's crazy, man. So he like, yeah, I'm about to go check that joint out, man. Make sure everything's straight in there. He's like, I ain't trying to walk. Have her in there. We slipping and sliding if the floor wet. You know what I mean? So he was like, man, look, go check that joint for me. So I'm like, I go to the joint. So I walk to the door. When I walk to the door, I did like this. But like the way the doors is, it's like they're not really doors with knobs. You know what I mean? It's like a little. I can't explain what type of door it is, but it's a door that never really closes because it's be open. But this time it was like halfway shut, but not shut. So as I go to the door, I try to pull it. It was like it won't move. And so bro was like, watch out. People was like, watch out, watch out. He went to the joint. He was like, this joint kind of heavy. And he was like, he moved the door. He walked in the joint. He like. So I'm like, man, let me see what this bathroom look like, man. I walked in the jump. I was like, man, this bathroom look way better than any bathroom I done seen in a minute, y'all. So boom. I look around like. So as we looking around, I just look at Pete. Pete like this. It was 2 stalls. Then they had where you can go, you know what I mean, do number 1 at, then they had you can do number 2 in the 2 stalls. He was like, he was looking, he was like. Then I looked and seen somebody like on their knees. It was 4 legs. It was 4 legs. And they were just sitting there being super silent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I seen 4 legs. That's my word. If I ain't seen nothing else, pause. I seen 4 legs. So I don't know what to expect. But I had to jump back into reality because I'm like, 4 legs? And they both look like they got on freaking prison clothes. So I'm like, so Pete like, so we back out the jump like this. We like, back up all the way out the jump. You know what I mean? So we just standing by the wall. Pete was like, somebody in there, ain't there? I was like, yeah, somebody in there, bro. He was like, man, who you think in there? I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know who that is in there, bro. He was like, man, it's crazy. He was like, I ain't going nowhere. I want to see who it is. I was like, man, you petty. I kind of already had an idea that it was the dude Lucas, man, just off the strength. Like, you know what I mean? There ain't really a lot of people in there. The boys in there, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, man, that's crazy. But bro said he wanted to see who was in that Jake, y'all. So boom. That's worse. I promise you, we stood right there. We stood right there. We was right there on the wall. Like 5-10 minutes. Like it looked like they was trying to stall us out. You know what I mean? It looked like they was trying to stall us out. We ain't going nowhere. And they could hear us talk. So they probably was like, man, they ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? So we just standing right there. Next thing you know, we just look up. We just seen the boy come out the joint. Boom. He come out the joint. He like this. He start moving fast, super fast, going that way. Look at him like, he ain't even look us in our eyeballs. He just shot that way. Next thing you know, you look up, you see Lucas coming out the joint. He was like, he grabbed his little broom that was right there. He grabbed the wet floor sign. He was like, he put it back on his little cart he had. He was like, hey, look, man. Y'all nosy, man. Y'all nosy, man. We like, what? We like, y'all nosy, man. We like, man, what do you mean? Y'all we nosy, man. People's like, man, I was trying to make sure the bathroom was straight. What did you talk about? He was like, man, look, man, that's between us, man. That's between us. I know y'all saw me, man. That's between us, man. He was like, man, look, that's between us, man. that's between us. I was like, what's between us? What you talking about? He was like, come on, man, you know what I'm talking about, man. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. People was like, nah, what you talking about? What you talking about? He was like, come on, man, come on, I know what I'm talking about. I was like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I wanted him to say the words. If you think we caught you, because we was playing it like we ain't, you know what I mean? Like we weren't on it like, bro, like, we just wanted to see who it was. You know what I mean? At the same time, but still, he come out already on guilty mode. So he like, man, look, man. Shh. Then you got Weezy with you, man. He was like, shh, y'all crazy, man. He was like, man, look, man, shh. I was in there fucking with the boy, man.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.